everybody please stand and we'll pledge allegiance. The flag is in that corner.
Please pull the flag out a little bit.
Pull it out if you could.
No?
Can you hear back there?
Pull the flag out.
There's many flags.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of flags. If it can't be pulled out, it's okay. I didn't notice.
I have one right here.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The commanders are going to raise the American flag, which is outside on the pole, and we'll play some music while they're doing that. How are we going to do that?
You boss, we not.
You're not. Oh, thank you. Okay, they might as well start doing it. We're going to play
You have to. That's the rules.
Do you have people ready to go with the flag?
Tom is ready. We got people at the pole?
No, we got somebody at the pole.
Oh. Let's get some.
Are we all going to?
No. Just stay.
We're going to play taps and raise the flag if anybody wants to.
If anybody wants to go outside and look, they can. We're just going to be raising the flag on the flagpole, which is right outside of the building here.
All right, do me a favor. If you were in the military or if you served in the military, salute during taps.
Everyone else can hit their heart if they like.
Salute.
Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful. We'll get our national anthem to go. Where's our singer? There she is. We don't have a microphone. Can you sing real loud?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great. You want to come up here? Come on up. What's your name again? Diana Syracuse.
Sienna.
Deanna.
Sienna.
Sienna? Perfect. What? I got it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can start at any moment. We have no music, unfortunately, for you, but please, go ahead.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Our chaplain will do the invocation now, please.
This is off the cuff.
Uncover.
Uncover of servicemen. Today is a very special day for servicemen. It reminds us of those that have not come back and those that are still there fighting for our freedoms. All of us here have somebody in the service. We tried. This is us. This is the way we celebrate in America. This day, it's a very memorial. We have to read the names of all those who passed in the last year. You will be surprised at how many we have lost in this year. So in God's name, please, amen.
Cover. Thank you, Bob. Our guest speaker will not be here. What we want to do is we were going to do a walk of honor. Our color guard is not here, but we have veterans, but we don't have space to walk, so we'll leave that go. I guess we'll ask our chaplain again. Could you please read the names of those that we lost in this past year? Thank you, Bob. Sorry, Ryan.
Post 242, James Carlin. Post 242, Dominic Canzadrate. Post 242, Don Cobbs. 242, Daniel Kenny. 242, Edmund Powers. 242, Raymond Roberts. 242, Richard Strickland. 242, Henry Ulrich. 242, Robert Wilberton. 242, Paul Hollick. 450, Joe Egan. 450, Herb Neal. 450, Sky Cummings. 450, Everett Parks. May they rest in peace.
Amen. It's amazing. We lost over 15 men in 1 year. And unfortunately, these gentlemen are all from World War II, Korea, which we're just losing more and more of them as we go along. Let's get on with the next story. Well, we just did taps because we were going to do taps a second time. And we can't do America the Beautiful. We're just at the end of our ceremony at this point because of the things that we did in between. But would you like to do the closing benediction?
No.
You would.
See how easy that was?
Oh, we had, all right, I'll make it, please. She made it. Melissa.
Thank you all for coming out. Thanks to the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. Thank you, Sienna, for your beautiful voice, very shapely she is. And thank you to our veterans. Honored guests, neighbors, and friends, welcome to Pequannock Township's Memorial Day ceremony. Unfortunately, we couldn't have the parade, but we are here for the most important part of the ceremony. On behalf of the Township Council, I want to thank each of you for joining us this afternoon, and most of all, I would like to thank the Legion for setting this up. We're fortunate to have a great town, a great venue, whether we were able to do it in front of the grave sites or doing it here at the hall. We're just fortunate to be able to have a venue to deliver on our promise to never forget, our promise to always remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice, those who gave their lives to secure our nation's freedom, the freedom we enjoy every day. Today is one of the most solemn days of remembrance of any of our nation's holidays, and we gather today to pay tribute to those brave men and women and reflect on the enormity of their sacrifice. Today is a time of reflection. We join hundreds and thousands of communities across this great land in honoring those who gave their lives to protect ours. We cannot replace these fallen heroes, and we shall never forget their courage and determination. As you all know, Memorial Day originally honored military personnel who died in the Civil War. Now, being a federal observed holiday every year, which is celebrated, as we know, the last Monday of May, which originated as Decoration Day after the American Civil War in 1868. We celebrate in the United States to remember the more than 1 million men and women who gave their lives in service to their country. Many will decorate flags in honor of those who have died and lay wreaths in honor of our fallen heroes. The flag, as we just saw in the U.S., is lowered to half-staff position until noon on this day. It is then raised to full staff position as a commitment from those living to not let their sacrifice be in vain and to continue to fight for liberty and justice for all. Our nation was birthed in conflict. Most of us remember learning about the famed shot heard around the world that launched the Revolutionary War. But there was little talk about the militia who fired the shot, the militia who fell and their lives cut short, their families in mourning because they valued freedom above all else. Men and women have been fighting and falling ever since, securing our freedom and protecting us from harm. How fortunate we are to live in a nation where liberty is celebrated and freedom forms the peak and great strength of our values. How fortunate we are to live in a nation that for more than 100 years has been and remains today a leader among the world's nations and an undeterred and untiring champion for the oppressed. Each of us can be grateful this day for those who serve in the military and the sacrifices they have made. I hope we can all use those examples as inspiration of how we might service others, service to our country, to our communities, and our families. I would ask as you leave here and go about the rest of your day to keep the fallen in your minds and keep their families and friends in your hearts. For it is their immense collective sacrifices that have helped keep our country free and safe. Thanks.
I thank you all again. Melissa really said everything that we need to say about this day and our remembrance of those that have fallen to keep this country free and as strong as it is. And I thank you all again for coming. We missed the parade, but as Melissa said, we're going to make the most of it and do this ceremony. We did exactly the same thing last year when we had to stop the parade, but we were able to get the ceremony in, and we're happy that we did. Again, thank you for coming. Thank you all. And please remember our veterans.
Jim Bolte wanted to say a few words as
Oh,
well.
okay. I'm sorry. Don't run. Come on, Jim.
Right.
You want to say something? That'd be fine.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we had switched positions.
Yes, we did.
I wanted
Go ahead.
I wanted Jim to say a few words. As you may or may not know, you know, I talked about how we should reflect on how we, you know, reflect on today and make decisions that will help our community and serve others. As most of you may know or may not know, James Bolte is our Pequannock Citizen of the Year this year. And Jim, of course, being a veteran and being a resident of this community for more than 50 years, Jim is one of those people that does everything behind the scenes with no grandeur. He doesn't, you know, he does things quietly. He does it for everyone, whether it's the seniors in the community, the veterans, the children, the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, the flood victims after the floods of '84 and after Irene. He is a true champion. So Jim wanted to say a few words because we had presented him with the proclamation. Yeah.
Number one, I've been the commander of Post 450 for approximately 14 years. I am also the finance officer for all of Morris County, and I'm a man of few words. That was my wife. The very first time I took over as commander, they asked me to give a speech, and I told them I'm a man of few words, and I walked away. What I'm looking at today is the youth of this town. And I'm watching a young man who, just like my grandson, he's about 20 months old, maybe 2 years old, spinning around, he's having a great time. I would like to thank everyone who made this possible. I'm proud to be a citizen of Pequannock Township. Volunteering and giving to others is not one-way street. This is tough for me because I went through a very tough time. The last 20 months, I've had 4 operations. I'm lucky I'm here, and I thank the people who helped me get through it. There were many people here who helped me to get through everything that I did. So I thank everybody in this town, and I love this town. I love you all. Thank you very much.
I want to thank the Scouts, the Brownies, the Girl Scouts, and any other Scout that I didn't mention for coming today. This is great. This is nice, and I'm sure you do appreciate the veterans and your parents and your uncles and grandfathers that stood up for this country and made it this wonderful country that it is. Thank you very much for showing us. These are the flags. These flags represent the different branches of service that we have in this country, and the Scouts are very nice in presenting them for us, and they usually come in the parade and march with us, and they show the representation of the different branches of service. So, thank you all. Thank you, and thank everyone.
We did it. I don't know how, but we did it. Thanks again, folks. Enjoy yourself. There's food, there's dessert, drinks are on him.